Welcome back. We are coming back to talk about a tool that we have. So this video is not going to be teaching you a new musical skill. This isn't going to be talking to you about a musical concept. We're not working on learning our stuff right this minute. What we're going to talk about is a tool that we have. A tool actually that the church pays for here at Fellowship for you to be able to use. And that tool is called Music Stand. So here at Fellowship, we use Planning Center services to share all of our music and information with all of you, our volunteers, and different people singing and leading worship at different campuses. That has an integration that we pay for that allows us access to a specialized app called Music Stand. This app is available on both Android and iOS, so whether you prefer the Android ecosystem or the Apple ecosystem, you're golden. You can use this tool. And it's a wonderful tool. So let's talk about what that tool is. So Music Stand is actually a set of tools. I said it was a tool, but it's better to call it a set of tools that are there for you to help you practice and perform. They are a suite of tools that includes things like metronomes, which we've talked about before. I always recommend that you practice not just with a track, but also with a metronome. There's metronomes built into this. It has access to all of your different charts, and sometimes I talk about learning stuff from a lead sheet. Your lead sheets that we have available, you can find them in here. Talk about working with a chord chart. Chord charts are available in here. It lets you take notes on your music. It lets you take notes and it keeps it saved to your Planning Center account. So if you change devices or you come in one week doing something different, when you load in that song, you're going to get all those notes back. Why would we want to have a tool like this though, right? Because we do. We print binders for everybody on Sundays. I know our singers have lyrics in the back on the screens. No reason for them to feel like they necessarily need a tool like this, right? Well, the reality is this has a bunch of tools in it that they're the same tools that I'm referencing in our other videos as we're talking about learning our music and understanding our music better. And because of that, because of its ability to take notes, its ability to be transportable, its ability to access not just the songs that you're scheduled for, but any song in our library, plus the way that it integrates into Planning Center, this is an amazing tool that really will allow you to take what you do at home and what you do at church on a Sunday or at church on a Wednesday and bring them all together quickly. I think it will be very beneficial for you. So let's get right into it. This here, what we're looking at here, is how Planning Center's Music Stand app looks when you load into it. So when you load into it, you'll see on the left, I can scroll around a little bit, you'll see My Schedule, and you'll see Plans. My Schedule is anything you've been scheduled for, and you'll see mine has green check marks next to them coming up for October 13th and October the 20th. Those are Sunday morning worship services, and I have accepted those requests to serve. That's why I have green check marks. If you're in here and you're practicing like you're supposed to be, our expectation is that you practice and prepare for at least an hour the week that you're going to be serving. You'll see the green check marks letting you know, hey, I told everyone I'm going to be there. If you see a yellow question mark, it means you told people nothing, and we don't know if you're going to be there, so it's a good reminder to make sure you go in and accept. You can, in addition to looking at your own schedule, you can look at any plans here. In fact, what I'm going to be looking at as our example is in the practice section. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go into the practice set of plans here. The practice is a service type is how Planning Center calls that. And I've got one scheduled as a September 22nd audition, and I'm going to pull that one right up, and bam, full screen. Here is my whole service. So this is great. This has every piece of the puzzle for a service. It's got prayer, it has an announcement, it has a message, it's got the two songs, it's got everything I need to know about what's going to happen next so I can be aware and prepared for that. The other thing it has is underneath the songs, you'll see Battle Belongs here. You'll see it's in the key of C. And then underneath that, you'll see Battle Belongs, Praise Charts, Chords and Lyrics, Editable in C. It tells me it's the chord chart version of the song. And there's a little arrow next to that. If I tap that little arrow, I can see all the different kinds of charts that I have access to. So I could grab just a lyrics chart, maybe I'm singing and I only need a lyrics chart. I can grab that, I can open that up, and bam, just lyrics, no chords, nothing to distract me. Very easy chart. I can get back from that, and I can go, maybe I want to use my lead sheet. I can see lead sheet written right here. I want to use my lead sheet. I reference all the time using a lead sheet as a tool to help you learn more information about your song, because chord charts cannot notate to us any sort of rhythm amidst their context of our song and within our tempo. So a lead sheet is a great tool for learning that. So maybe I want to use my lead sheet to learn that. Well, there it is. Bam. I can back up from there. Something that's worth noting. You can see all the things that are available for the key that was scheduled. So for example, not every single key of every single song has a lead sheet available, although almost all of our songs do have at least one lead sheet available. One of those examples is actually right here. We have On That Day, and if I go to its drop-down menu, the chord chart is the only kind of chart that is available for that song in the key of C. And that's okay. It's not the end of the world. What I can do is I can open up my menu, back to my plans section, and if at the top of this left-hand side, I can see plans, and I can also see songs. If I open up songs, a little alert here has appeared that says tap a file to view it, drag and drop songs or files, add them to your plan. I can do things like that. But I just want to go find On That Day. So I'm going to search for On That Day. I can see a song called Born on That Day, and I can see On That Day. So I'm just going to open up On That Day. Its arrangement is the Cydia-Lite arrangement. And you'll see that in my E-flat attachments, I do have a lead sheet right here. And I can open up that lead sheet, and I can do that for any song. Any song, I can go and look at all the keys. I can find that lead sheet. And while that lead sheet won't help me play the right chords in the key of C necessarily, it will help me to learn my rhythms, the timings of the changes that I need to do, so I can do them correctly. Just going to back up from here. I'm going to go back to my plan. So let's open up Battle Belongs. Let's open it up with its lead sheet that I have selected already. And let's see what's in here. First off, every page of the lead sheet is in here. I can turn the page, and you'll see that it's got page 2, page 3, and page 4. They're all here. I can see my coda, I can see my DSs, I can see all the little indicators as to where I need to go in the song for those of us who like to read sheet music. It's a lot. If you're somebody who really likes to read a lead sheet, read a full chart, this is right here for you. This can be really cumbersome, right? Having to flip pages forward and backwards. I don't personally like that. I prefer to get my music learned and understood in the lead sheet, and then to prepare and then perform it from the chord chart, so I don't have to do so much page turning. It saves me one less thing to do while we're going on. From here, I have some options up at the top right. You'll see 3 things. You'll see a play button, an old-timey metronome icon, which I love that they use the old-timey metronome icon, and you'll see a pen. If I grab the pen, I will have some options up here. At the top left will appear. I can actually just grab a pen of any various thickness or highlighters and things. So I could grab myself a highlighter, and I could highlight all my chord changes. You see I highlight the F, the A minor 7, the C, right? And I can just make all those visible to me. I can clear at the top right this page or the full attachment. I can clear all of my notes. There's even a ruler here. I'm not really sure what the benefit is of the ruler, but it's there if you really want one. An eraser tool exists here. Anyways, so I'm back into my notes. Here's my pen. Sorry, I need to figure out what's happened. Okay. So I'm back at my pen, and I select my pen. I can select the thickness of my pen, how transparent it is, all those fun tools that you might want to have. And so I've just got my pen set to red so I can see it amidst all the black text and things going on. And maybe I draw arrows to myself. Hey, make sure you hit that. Hey, I circle this crescendo. That's important. This word drive is here. Maybe I put a box around it. Here's a sforzando, some, dynamic markings, all those kinds of things. Whatever I think needs is important there. Might highlight something like the sign so I know that this has a move around, stuff like that. You can have all those things in there. They're right there. They're available to you. If I push done, it's going to save these notes. That's cool, because what that means is if I go somewhere else and maybe I forgot my iPad, or maybe I want to get it out on my phone when I go home. Maybe I've been practicing on this iPad here. I get out my phone when I go home. I open up Music Stand on my phone. Bam, all of my notes are here. In addition to the pen, you also have the ability simply to type in text by pushing on this big letter T at the top left while you're doing these annotations. You can pick its color, just the same as you could with anything with the pen. I can come in here, I can type in, "Don't mess up." Give myself a little pep talk note. Done. Now, this is great. This is a great tool for practicing. Again, like I said, I don't like to stick to the lead sheet, so it is important to note that any notes you take on the lead sheet, they only appear on the lead sheet, because that's 4 pages. It's not going to be there on the chord chart that exists, right? So here's my chord chart. I grab my chord chart. No notes here. I have to take new notes into my chord chart. That's fine. That's not a problem for me. I took notes as I was learning it on my lead sheet. I might take a different set of notes in my chord chart that I want as reminders for performing. And that's all good. You have those kinds of freedoms. The next tool over, I'm not going to go to the next one to the left. We're going to go at the top right. We are going to use our play button. If I push the play button, you have to listen because it's going to be the mic listening to my iPad here. What you see is happening is immediately my music and my listening tracks that we have uploaded are available here for us to listen to. So I'm just going to pause that. If I pull this up, you can see that I have the Battle Belongs listening track in C, and I have another listening track there. It looks like I don't have a click track in the key of C. If we had a click track loaded up in the key of C, it would be right there visible to us. So that tells me that we've actually not done this song in the key of C somewhere that any of our campuses yet. That's usually the time when we load our click track over at that key. I can see the same thing for On That Day. On that day, I actually can see that there's a click and tracks for the key of C.
2,
and that'll start playing.
intro, 2, 3, 4.
And so I can practice along with those listening tracks or with those click tracks, whatever they may be. And so I can be playing this, I can minimize my audio, and then I can practice with it. When all I see is the battle. And this can be a tool for me to practice with. And that's a great tool. It's a wonderful tool, especially as we're learning songs. That's an amazing tool, that listing track. We can grab the click track. We can use that to play along with hearing that metronome in our head and getting used to the call-outs that are called out typically for the verses and choruses. But here's my favorite tool right here. I'm going to just push what's turned into an eject button to make my music go away. My favorite tool right here is this, the metronome tool. Now this metronome tool actually automatically syncs up to whatever the tempo is set to in Planning Center. So if we've set the tempo, this song at the top right of its chart, you can see it's set to 81. The metronome is automatically at 81. I can sync it to different things. I can do 16th note subdivisions. I can double the speed, which is effectively an 8th note subdivision. I can change the tempo myself manually. I can set everything about it. So let's just listen to this. And this is a great tool. 1, 2, ready, go. When all I see is the battle, you see my victory. And I can practice with that click track, that metronome. That'll help me really identify, I know this song. I'm not listening for something else. I'm not leaning on anybody else. I know when those things are supposed to happen. That means when we're all supposed to come in together on those big, strong moments, I'm going to be ready for it. That metronome app is a great tool for practicing and getting yourself ready. I can use that metronome tool while I'm reading my lead sheet, and I can use that as an opportunity to go back and forth and listen to the entirety of what I'm doing. I can be looking at those rhythms that are happening in that context while that tempo is going on. I can really nail down my responsibilities instrumentally, vocally, whatever. In addition to that, while it's going on, I can still take all of my notes. Here's my notes. When all I see are the ashes, maybe we have decided we're not going to say the word ashes for some reason. We decided we really want to say when all I see is the soot, which is a horrible rewrite. I'm not recommending it, but there it is. When all I see is the soot. And I can actually grab that, and there it is. And I can then go to my pen, kind of scratch out are the ashes. Done, right? Maybe I noticed that this A minor 7, I really can't play the 7, it messes me up too bad. So I'm just going to play the A minor. I put a little star next to it because that'll help me to know that. Whatever those things may be, I could take all those notes, I could take them while I'm at home practicing on my own, bring them in here, bam, there they are. Take them anywhere and they go with me. These are great, great tools for us. But there's one more really nice benefit to these tools. All right, so here's the really nice benefit. I'm going to go back to my main page. And that is, let's say we are sitting here on Sunday morning. We cannot play this in this key. We cannot play on that day in the key of C. I'm going to get out my phone here because I am responsible for building our set lists into Planning Center. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go ahead and say, guys, we needed to change that. You know what? Not even change the key. We need to change the song outright. Okay? We can't sing on that day today. We're not going to do it. Suddenly, we're going to change it entirely. And I can change it to Abide. I'm going to change it to Abide right now. I'm going to grab it. Here it comes. Save. And I've changed it to Abide on my phone. And with a quick refresh of my page here by dragging down and letting that refresh happen, boom, Abide. Abide has appeared right here. Now this is great because for those of you who have been on our teams on a Sunday when we're like, man, we've got to change the song, it's not working, something's happened, maybe we changed it on Saturday night, nobody came in to print new charts, so we needed to print new charts. We'll still print charts for you, we'll still take care of you. Like, we're not going to stop doing that. But if you were just running an iPad and we made that adjustment, you refresh your page, there it is. Abide, I've got number charts for this one. Here's my chord chart. I'm going to just select my chord chart. Off I go. This is the tool. This is Music Stand. It's an amazing and wonderful tool. You can use it to practice with your friends. You can go out and you can be playing your tracks back and preparing and doing all your things. You can grab your metronome. You can do all those different things. And it'll just give you all of the things that you need to be successful as you're preparing at home and as you're playing here on a Sunday with being able to bring all the notes with you that you've made. I think it's an amazing tool. Like I said at the beginning, the church makes sure that this is available to you. So I would encourage you, if you're not taking advantage of it, if you're not taking advantage of the built-in metronome function that's here, ready for you to use, please do so. Please give this a look, give this a check, see if this works for you and in your way that you flow. But there's a lot of benefits to this one, and you'll be seeing this app again when we talk about things like song mapping, which we will do in some other videos later on down the road. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful to someone, and I'm looking forward to what we do next.